Today, I'm going to actually talk about 4 steps that I use to create a business structure that will make you a lot of money. Okay, so this is something that can be adapted to your business. This is something where you could just take this program right to your company and use it. I've used it in coaching other CEOs and used it myself. The method I call APPM, alignment, product, people, and margins. Okay, so we're going to go through why those are so important. You know, how I just keep it simple. I got enough things on my mind, right? So I can't have a 20-step process, but these cover the most important areas for your company to make sure not only that you're gaining sales, but that those are profitable sales. Before we get into it, a little bit about myself. If you're new to the channel, my name is Luke Peters. I ran a company for about 20 years, sold it in 2001, started in a garage with no funding, retained all the equity, sold it to private equity, learned a lot along the way, and now I'm sharing my insights to help other CEOs and to coach CEOs as well with my company, Apex CEO. Okay, so just going on a short little walk here because I have an interview later on today. So I need to get a little bit of sun, although it's a cloudy one outside. And during this walk, I'll kind of share this plan. So APPM method. Let's start with alignment. Okay, what does alignment mean? Alignment, the most important thing that a CEO can do is execute on the strategic mission and create alignment with great communication within the company. Okay, so communication, you always hear that buzzword, but it's got to start with the CEO. Alignment to me means that the entire company understands the vision and the entire company is working on goals that are measurable, okay, like OKRs, right? So this actually can be really difficult or it can be sort of simple by ensuring that they have all of their reports working on objectives and key results. So let's say you have a 50-person company, and let's just say 7 are reporting to you. All 7 that report to you should have at least 3 big OKRs that they're working on, and probably just 3, because more isn't always better. And then all of their team has 3 OKRs. So everybody at the company is literally working on something that can be measured, tracked, and is going to give the company value. A lot of times, you know, maybe just your direct reports will have objectives they're working on. Maybe they won't even be measurable. And oftentimes their reports won't have any objectives that they're working on. Okay, and that's going to create a problem because first of all, when the year-end review comes, that, you know, the whole team actually would prefer if they had the clarity of what you wanted them to accomplish throughout the year. Okay, that's kind of where this communication comes into play. So it's so important that you put this out there. They actually want it. It's better for them and it creates accountability. It kind of forces you as a CEO to be more organized, to see out into the future and say, hey, this is what we want to accomplish. Okay, so that's the first one, alignment. And we can, you know, maybe I'll do, you know, a couple of episodes on that one, but it's a huge one. Okay, alignment, communication. Okay, next we get into product. I put product right here at the top. Okay, for me, product is so important because a lot of times, you know, coaches or CEOs, they kind of take their product for granted. When I look at a company, it's like, to me, that CEO probably created the product or had something to do with the industry they're going into, and they're the creative genius. And then they start running the business, and now they've got HR and people and processes to deal with and operations, and now they're spending less time on product. And then the product, you know, you kind of, it goes up like this and it sort of stagnates and your NPD or new product development isn't that great. Your product is your business, okay, right? Like that's your offering to the marketplace. So it's everything. So I put a big emphasis on the product, you know, focus on product. First of all, just let's dive into product market fit. Let's look at your competitive positioning. You know, I have a special grid that I kind of put together or want other CEOs to put together, and I myself have put together, right? Where you look at so you got to win, let's say you got 100 products. You have to win every one of those products one by one in the marketplace, okay? It's like, you know, like a football squad. You got 11 players. You got to, you know, the O-line, you got to win every single block's got to win, right? You can't have one weakness there. So with your products, if you want to win, with your company, if you want to win, you go back to your product, and every one of your products has to beat the competition or stack up against the competition. But usually, I mean, this is very time intensive, right? So oftentimes, you know, if you have 100 products, you're like, well, these 12 are doing good. Well, how come, you know, the other 88 are not doing good, right? Like, is there a pricing issue? Is there a review issue? Is there a branding issue? Is there an innovation issue? And a lot of times you know what the issue is. It's not a unique offering, and maybe you know in your heart, okay, that product's never going to be a top product, or it's run its life cycle. So you got to have a strong NPD, new product development. You need that pipeline has to always be growing. And so there's so many different things to talk about with product, okay? But product, for me, it's one of the top 4 that you're focused on every single day as a CEO. The next is people. Obviously, everybody's probably gives this same answer of people, right? People is so important for all of the obvious reasons, but I think what a lot of small businesses don't actually put the value on people that bigger businesses do, right? Bigger businesses, they know it's all about the people. They've already got the great product. That's probably why they're big, or they have some control over a market segment or whatever. They built some moat, and then they go and get the best people, and that's why the bigger companies get bigger and better, and they're hard to beat. And the small businesses usually have to innovate on product, right? So sometimes they'll unseat the big business, but they do it oftentimes on their product innovation. But I want you to think about people in the way that you're putting the sports team together. So look at start with your sales and marketing seats. Are they 10 out of 10? Would you hire them again today? Because that, for especially a small, medium-sized business, that's where it all starts. And then you can move on to areas like CFO, VP, finance, stuff like that, operations, COO. But it's all about the people. And what you can do with the people is you can create alignment. So let's go back up to that top one. You need to create alignment with your people. If you don't, you're going to bring in great people. They're going to be used to structure, and you're not going to have that alignment. It's going to be sort of your fault if they don't succeed, right? You're the CEO, so you have to take that accountability. Okay, let's talk about the final one is margins. This is, it's the most important thing really, right? But it's sort of an afterthought with a lot of companies. It's sort of, well, those are the margins. Like you can't really affect the margins. I often see that or hear that, so there's more of a focus on building top line. I don't know, I think differently, especially it depends where you are as a business. It depends if you have funding. If you don't have funding, if you're bootstrapping, to me, every customer sale should be profitable. Okay, don't fall into this trap of you'll have your profits later. You'll grow first. That's a joke. I mean that actually has bankrupted so many different companies. You need to be profitable from day one. If you're bootstrapping your business, if you're taking friends and family, you need to be profitable from day one. Okay, we're going to have some upset friends and family. And where does that start? It starts with margins, and it starts really by understanding your business, because there could be a lot of hidden costs. Okay, you could be shipping many products for a loss. Maybe you don't really understand your CAC, your customer acquisition cost. Maybe you don't really understand your allowances. Margins are everything. Okay, so you've got your start with your product margin at the top. Okay, so you got to have your 40, 50, whatever it's going to be, hopefully higher % product margin. And then, of course, you have your SG&A in there. But before your SG&A, you're going to have some cost to fulfill those orders. And so for some businesses, physical goods, you're shipping, you have allowances, those types of things. So then you're going to have your contribution margin, right? So you got your product margin, your contribution margin, and then, of course, your net profit margin at the bottom. So, and there's different other breakdowns you can have. But let's start with those 3. Those are the 3 you need to be focused on. At every one of those 3, do you know kind of how the sausage is made, okay? And not everybody can say they do. I'm serious. Like even at good-sized companies, there's a lot of ingredients to the sausage, and it's hard to understand sometimes why your contribution margin is 25% when you thought it should have been 30%. So that's going to take some, financial acuity and a great team on the finance side. It's also going to take really good forecasting and a great understanding of your customers and a great relationship with your customers to understand if you are losing margin at certain parts or points of the transaction. That's the APPM method, alignment, product, people, margins. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you're having a great day. And if you're getting something out of these videos, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you want to learn more about what I do, go over to apexceo.co. You can have a free 15-minute call and we can talk about your business. Have a great day. Thanks.